Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about how to simplify fractions. But pay attention, when we simplify fractions, we need to get to their simplest form. What does this mean? This means that we have to simplify the fraction again and again and again until we can no longer simplify it anymore. Okay, we're going to do 3 examples for you to understand. Remember that the most important part or the most important thing about simplification is that we're going to divide both numbers, the numerator and the denominator, into equal numbers. We cannot use a different number at the numerator and a different number at the denominator, okay? So let's see. For this, remember that you have to have super clear the divisibility rules, for which I'm going to leave the description, the video in the description, okay? So now, we're going to try to find a number that can divide both the numerator and the denominator of this first fraction, 60 over 100. So, I'm going to start with the numbers in order. Let's see for number 2. Are both numbers divisible by 2? Yes, right? Because both end in a 0. So the last digit is 0, so they are both divisible by 2. So I'm going to divide both. Remember, both need to work. It doesn't matter if it's only one, it's not going to work. If you have both, it's going to work. So we have 60 divided by 2, which is going to be 30. And we have 100 divided in 2, which is going to be 50. Now, once again, both numbers are divisible by 2. So I can divide these two numbers into 2 and 2. Remember, simplifying. You need to keep simplifying the number until we get to a point in which both numbers are not divisible with the same number, okay? So we have 30 and 50, both are divisible by 2. That's why we're going to keep going, okay? So 30 divided by 2 is 15, and 50 divided by 2 is 25. So now I'm going to ask myself, are both numbers divisible by 2? No, so I can no longer divide in 2. Let's see number 3. Are both numbers divisible in 3? No. Can you find any number that is divisible, that can divide up and down this fraction? Yes, number 5, right? Because 15 is divisible by 2 and 25 is divisible by 5, and 25 is divisible by 5. That's why we're going to use number 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 25 divided by 5 is 5. Can we find a number that can divide both numbers, numerator and the denominator? No. Number 3 and number 5 don't share factors. That's why we cannot divide both by the same number. So that's it. 60 over 100, once it's simplified, it's going to be 3 over 5. We know all these are equivalent fractions, but this is the simplest form. Now I want you to look at another thing. Let's say we had 60 over 100. For you, it's going to be better if we found a bigger number that can simplify both numbers. For example, this is a long way. We're going to go in order 2, 2, 5. But if you noticed, I can find since the beginning that both numbers are divisible, for example, by 10. So I can say divided by 10, and it's going to be 6 over 10, and then I divide into both, and it's going to be 3 over 5. And even better, if we have 60 over 100, and you realized that both were divisible by 20, this is a little bit harder, but it's going to be a lot faster. 60 divided by 20 is 3. 10 divided by 20 is 5. As you see, any of the methods here is going to give the same answer, 3 over 5, 3 over 5, 3 over 5. They're all going to work. But if you find a bigger number, it's better for you to use it because you're going to require less process, okay? Let's see the next example. We have 36 and 90. So we're going to find any number in which we can divide both. Let's say we say both are divisible by 2 because both end in even numbers. So I'm going to divide here in 2 and divide here in 2. So 36 divided by 2 is 18. 90 divided by 2 is 45. Now, can you find any number that can divide up and down? Remember the divisibility rules. I can find, for example, number 3. Both numbers are divisible by 3. So, 18 divided in 3 is 6. 45 divided in 3 is 15. Did I finish? Is that it? Or can I find another number that can divide both numbers? Actually, there is another one. Once again, number 3, right? 6 is divisible by 3. 15 is divisible by 3. That's why I have to keep going. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Can I keep going or did I finish? I finished, right? 2 and 5 don't have common factors or factors in common. That's why we cannot simplify this fraction anymore. So 36 over 90 is equal to 2/5, but 2/5 is the simplest form of that fraction, okay? Let's see the last example. So I'm looking at 24 over 126. Now let's see. I can divide both numbers, for instance, in 2. If you find another number which is bigger, perfect, use it. And then you can see if our answer is the same. So 28 divided in 2 is 14. And 126 divided in 2 is 63. Now, can you find another number? Or did I finish? Remember, I only finish if I cannot find a number that can divide both numbers. But I have. I can divide here into 7 and here into 7. So that's why 14 over 7 is 2. And 63 over 7 is going to be 9. That's it. Did I finish or can I divide more? Is there any number that can divide 2 and 9? No, I finished. So I already simplified this fraction. 28 over 126 is the same as 2 over 9 when it's simplified. That's it. That's simplifying fractions. It's actually really easy. Remember that from now on, whenever you solve any example or any exercise about fractions, you have to give your answers with simplified fractions. So for example, if you add fractions, multiply, or do whatever operations you need, and you find this number, this is not going to be a correct answer. Why? Because it's not simplified. We, the teachers, always ask you students to give the answer in the simplest form. Okay? Hope this video was useful for you. Bye bye.